And welcome in to my Saturday Live. I missed you girls last week. It wasn't quite the same without you. But anyway, it's great to be here. Ladies, today we are going to talk about Italian style and disguising the menopausal belly. Now, while those two things may be seeming a little bit far apart, almost like I'm going on a different tangent, actually, they are one and the same, because a lot of the design principles and the styling principles that I use with my clients, with my collection, are based on what I have learned from Italian style. So today I'm going to share with you some of the thinking behind the styles that I'm going to show you, and also just how Italian women tend to handle midlife. For those of you who don't know already, if you haven't heard my announcement, I am going to Italy in September. I'm very excited. Again, I'm going. It's my 4th trip there. And I'm going with such an intentionality, because this is the first time I'm going with this level of intentionality around looking at how women are dressing during midlife, looking at how they are handling their changing bodies, and what we can learn. Now, you may think, well, that's fine in Italy, or it's fine when you live in a city. But actually what's interesting is that it's quite a cultural difference in the way women treat themselves, they treat their bodies, and they dress. And so I feel like no matter where you are in the world, we could all use a little extra confidence, right? We could all use a little bit of how do we dress better, or how do we treat our bodies better so that we can feel better in our lives. So we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the things I already know, and then stay tuned for my trip coming up. I will be doing some filming some behind the scenes content and creating some shorts, hopefully while I'm there. I won't be live while I'm there, because I also need a little bit of a vacay, so which will be fantastic. All right, so for those of you who've come in, welcome in. Let me know in the comments where you're coming in from. It's so good to have you here. If you are new to me, my name is Tracy Gold, and I'm a personal stylist, designer, and show host. I really hone in on women going through perimenopause and menopause, and the body changes that we experience, because I myself, when I hit perimenopause, gained an extra 3 inches around my belly overnight, and I was like, what the is going on? And I had to figure out how I was going to dress myself, because I was also on QVC at the time, going in front of 7 different cameras. I've taken what I've learned and I've worked with my clients with those same things. So this is not just about my body and what's worked for my body, but really what has worked across the board for both me and for my clients. All right, so girls, we're gonna get stuck into Italian styles that work for menopausal bellies. One of the things that there are 2 main things that three things that I'm gonna focus on for this live, and then later on in the video, I'm gonna show you some of the new styles that I'm working on, and I'm gonna talk you through them, also explaining how they come from Italian style inspiration, and then also how they're going to, most importantly, which I think you're most excited about, is how is this going to disguise and flatter my menopausal belly. Okay, so the one thing that Italian women really understand, and they fully embrace it, and I don't even think they really speak about it that much. Like, you won't often hear I've even tried to find, Italian women who have YouTube channels who are talking about this. There's so much about French style, but Italian women seems to be a little bit of a gap in that. Italian women understand that shape is everything. And I mean everything. So one of the things is that you will notice about Italian women is that they don't dress in big, baggy clothes to try and cover everything up. In fact, their whole philosophy is really around enhancing your natural shape. Now, that doesn't mean that they're wearing super tight clothing either. So it's not a case of one extreme or the other. It's not, oh, well, I either wear super baggy or I wear super tight, which is often what we women, when we go through body changes, happen to do. We either really try and just cover everything up by wearing a big black sack and feel the shame, or we desperately try and squeeze into the clothes that we used to, and that often means going up a size or 2 or 3, still trying to fit into those styles that aren't working for us, trying to squeeze into support garments and that kind of thing, and often just end up wearing ill-fitting clothing or too tight clothing. That too ends up making us feel shameful about our bodies, and neither of the two extremes are actually achieving what they really want to achieve. Italian women understand that it's about defining the waist. It's about giving yourself some shape. It's about embracing the curves that you have and therefore creating a sense of balance. So as an example, I'm going to show you a couple of different photographs that I've taken, that I took in my Rome trip. And let me just say, girlfriends, that when I travel, I tend to try and stay away from the touristy areas. I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in the Italian lifestyle and how women live and actually dress on an ongoing basis. So this is in fact, this was in a neighborhood in Rome. It wasn't even in a typical, it was nowhere close to the sites and that kind of thing. But this woman, she was just literally sitting on the bench. Okay, and I came past and I said, "Can I take a photograph?" And I can't speak Italian. I wish I could, but she was like, "Of course!" And she was so thrilled. But this is how she was dressed. Ladies, this is how she's dressed. Also notice she's got comfortable shoes on. She's not trying to wear stilettos and hobble around on cobble streets because it doesn't work. There also is, let me show you some other, now you may say, well, that's just one person, okay? Well, this woman was coming out of a business meeting. I could tell because I was standing on the side, kind of watching what was going on, and then quickly trying to take some photographs. But she was coming out of what looked like a business meeting, and this is how she was dressed. Okay, definitely not a young, definitely a slightly mature woman. And look at how the little crop jacket, there's definition, but there's also color. There's also spunk. Look at those sunglasses. I mean, how fabulous is that? And I often hang around to make sure that I'm hearing Italian so that I know that these are Italian women. This woman, okay, so she is younger. She's definitely younger, but she was just waiting for the bus stop. She's going to do her grocery shopping. Okay, this is kind of just how women dress. This is just part of their lives. These two women I was walking behind for quite some time and they were chatting in Italian. Look at how they're dressed. Can you see? This lady's even got a walking stick, but yet she's got color on. She's dressing. They kind of tend to have this, and it's not that she's wearing super tight, even this woman's not wearing super tight clothing, but you can see that she has some shape. She has some semblance of shape, some form of shape. This woman here, there was a long line outside of this restaurant that I was trying to get into, and, she's just dressing. This is a typical family Sunday lunch. I kind of followed them. I really do tend to follow people around and see what they're doing. But they were getting together. They had like a family lunch, which is a big thing in Italy. They do a lot of that type of thing, getting together on a Sunday. And you can see she's just wearing, lovely flat shoes. But look at this beautiful dress that she's wearing. And it has some semblance of shape. It was a very hot day, and yet she still has some shape. And the things that you're going to notice that women are wearing shape. So how do we do that? How do we do that when we're navigating these crazy body changes that we're going through? And I get it, girl, because I've also been navigating that. I'm finally, after about 2 years, starting to feel like I'm stabilizing. My body shape is still very different from what it was. In fact, just this morning, I was like, I wonder if I could fit into those leather pants that I bought in Italy all those years ago. Not even close. And I really mean, I'm not going to put them on for you right now, but or try and put them on for you, but I could feel straight away. I put one leg in them and I was like, yeah, this is not going to work. These are the pants that I was wearing before perimenopause. Okay, girls, look, these are the pants. And I'm just being honest with you. They don't even remotely close, not even remotely. And I keep them only to show this example because I want women to realize that they are not alone, that we are all experiencing these things. Okay, so I get it. And often what we want to do is we want to to go big and baggy and long to try and cover things up, but that's going to make things worse. It's going to make things a lot worse because it's going to make you look big everywhere. So what is the alternative? One of the things that I always encourage my clients to do is to start with waist definition. When you gain some waist definition, you straight away balance your body, okay? So as an example, now I just did an interview this last week, and we were talking about this very thing, and I just grabbed a t-shirt. I was like, can I show you a bad example? And she was like, yes, show us a bad one. So I was like, okay, I have this bad t-shirt. Now okay, so obviously this is not, I would never put this skirt with this top. Okay, and I'm gathering you probably wouldn't either, but you might just wear something similar in shape. This is what a lot of women are doing. All right, so maybe they'll even get a nice skirt, like a nice shaped skirt, and then they'll put a big baggy top because, oh no, I don't want to show my belly. I want to hide that part. But what you're doing is you're making yourself look big everywhere. And this is what happens. This is the interesting thing, girlfriend, is that when you are trying to cover up your belly, you often are making your entire body look bigger. So you're not just, it's not working, and then B, whatever your belly is, you're almost making your whole body like that. It's almost a little bit like when you're caught in a lie, right? That's happened. I mean, like it's happened to me. I've caught a lie, and then I'm just like trying to make it, or I've said something really stupid that I shouldn't say. Like that would probably be very common for me, right? Stick my foot in it, take my one foot out and put another foot in, right? It just like and then I try and backtrack it and make it okay. Like, and it just ends up making it worse. Okay. That's kind of what it's like when you are dressing in this way. That's kind of like what's happening is that you're focusing so much on the parts that you're trying to cover up that then everything else becomes just mushed in with it. All right, so the alternative is really to give yourself rather some waist definition, okay? And I get it. It seems counterintuitive because when we are going through gaining the menopausal belly, it feels like we don't want anything ever close at all. And I completely understand, right? But the belly is lower down. The belly is here. The belly is not here. So when we focus attention here, it really creates a sense of a waist and a sense of balance, and then it de-emphasizes the belly. Let me show you another example, and that would be like the way that I would not wear the skirt. Okay, so look at that. Look at what that looks like. Okay, so if I were to wear, and this is a lot of times, girls, I have seen this happening many times where women tie their things way too low. And I think a lot of that is because if you are a Gen Xer, put it in the chat. I am a Gen Xer, I'm 52. We were wearing the hipsters for so long. They were in fashion for so long that we lost a sense of where our waist is. And so what we do is we tend to go too low. And what happens here? Well, now that's going to put emphasis on our belly. And that's what we're often afraid of. So maybe you will get something and then you will think, okay, let me try what Tracy says, but then you'll tie it too low, and then that's going to put all the emphasis there, and you're going to go, oh, no, it's not for me. Well, actually, it's because you're tying it too low. It's not because the actual item is wrong. So what I want you to do is think about your waist as a little higher than you would normally think of it. So if you are watching this and you're holding with one hand, you're holding your device that you're watching it with, take the other hand and just place it in the small of your waist. Just feel where that waist is. You may feel like you don't have as much of a waist as you used to. That's okay. Where do you think it is? Like where? It's often much higher than we think it is, right? It's there. So then you want to define that, and then it helps to de-emphasize the belly. Another way of doing that, some women say, well, Tracy, I can't wear belts. I can't wear anything too high into my waist because maybe I'm a bigger bust and it looks weird. Completely get it. All right. Belting is not necessarily for everyone. It is for a lot of women, and a lot of women who think that they can't do it actually can. However, there are other ways of doing it, and that's why I design clothes like this. In fact, let me just tag this, ladies, because I have been chatting for a while and I have not tagged it. So I'm going to go ahead and tag it. There you go. And that will take you directly to the website. And by the way, there will also be coming soon, there will be other options for this outfit. So other fabric options. All right. So here we go. So this is another option, ladies. This is another way that you could do it. Now, obviously you would wear, I've just got underpinnings underneath so that I can change in front of the camera. But essentially, this is another way that you can emphasize your waist and de-emphasize your belly. It doesn't always necessarily have to be about going really high up into that waist. But this is one of the areas that we often forget about. It actually is a very narrow area. Also, if you have a bigger bust, this is a great way of de-emphasizing your bust by drawing the eye down the body. This is what I call the magic blouse, and it has had a little bit of a makeover recently so that you can wear it as a wrap blouse. You can wear it as it is designed to wear, which is like as a magic blouse like that. Or there's a third way that you can wear it, and I'll show you that just now. But this allows you to really emphasize right here, which is often a very narrow point. And before those of you who are bigger busted start saying, no, that's not possible for me, the magic blouse has been one of the magic pieces that women who have bigger busts find very helpful. Why? Because you'll wear a cami on underneath it, and then you'll pop it on over, and already that very deep V neckline that is cutting the expanse of your bust is really working. And then also you can adjust this. You can tie it as loosely or as tightly as you need to get it to that right level for you. And it just almost gives you a little bit of a lift. One thing I do want to encourage for those of you who are more busty, when it comes to defining your waist, do make sure that you're getting the right bra, because the right bra, your girls hanging at the right level are going to make all the difference in the world. If your girls are hanging too low, it's taking up so much of your waist. So do get measured for a bra. That is a very important thing. The other way that you could wear this magic blouse, there is a little secret slit in the side over here that you can put it through, and you can wear it crossed over like that without tucking it in. I like the tucked in version because it really does define my waist, and I'm okay with that. But if you are not okay with that, if you feel exposed by that, that's okay too. This is going to allow you to do that wrap over blouse effect, and it has a rounded hem, which is also going to de-emphasize your belly. And it allows for a little bit lower. So, obviously it will depend on you, and all these styles are customizable, by the way, girlfriends. All these are customizable. So it gives you various different options. The other thing that you might not be aware of, and this is one of my absolute magic tricks, is that you can use print to disguise a multitude of things. So if I was wearing this in a solid color, I have to tell you, even in the same fabrication, it would be showing a lot more. Because it's in a print, it disguises a multitude of things. Print is so good at disguising. However, it comes back again to shape. You need to wear things that have shape in order to make it work. Okay, so if you are wearing a print in a big baggy item, that is going to make you look bigger. If you are wearing something in a shapely item in print, it is going to disguise a multitude of things. All right, so let's move on to another example. Okay, let's move on to another example. The other thing I'm gonna talk about is how Italian women use print. Okay, so it's not all like, you don't have to wear all of this the same. I'm going to show you in a second how you can also play around with it, and I'm going to show you some skirt tricks as well, some of my magic skirt tricks that really do work. In the meantime, feel free to just put in any questions over here as well. I'm happy to ask any questions that are fashion related. Okay, so this is a fashion live. So just to make everybody clear, this is a fashion live, so please feel free to put in any fashion related questions. I'm happy to help you. Now, you'll notice here in a second, okay, let me just pop this on here. You'll notice here that this is the other print. So these two prints are exactly the same. They are just in different colorways. So on my website, there will be the option to rather order this print or this print. So this colorway or this colorway. And the nice thing is I've got two different styles. So you can choose either this style in this print or the other way around, because everything is customizable. Okay, so girls, I'm going to shift over to another style. This one is something that I don't already have on the website. I need to actually photograph it. It has been a little bit of a work in progress. Here we go. Okay, here we go, girlfriends. Let me just, it would help if I had it on the right way around, not upside down. Okay, the other thing that you're going to notice, and this is something that I use a lot of in my collection, is the fit and flare effect. Now, this bubble dress, this bubble skirt actually does a little bit of the opposite, but you'll see why it still works, and I'll explain that in a second. The top, by the way, is available, so I'm going to talk through the top. I will pin the top in the chat over here in the products. This is available in a brown, a black. Did I actually? Oh, I think I did. Yes, I did actually attach it. That's great. Okay. Right, there we go. So it is available in a dark chocolate brown, a wine, and a black. All three of which would go with the skirt. Okay, not the right shoes. I would definitely change up my shoes for this particular one. But what I want to talk about here is that Italian women don't always go all out print. I do particularly love print. And so I wear a lot of, like, I will mix prints. I will wear them all together. I'll do all different kinds of things. There's no pressure to do that. However, it is very helpful to use prints in areas that you do want to traditionally disguise. And what's nice about a wrap skirt, okay, is that a wrap skirt is, first of all, very adjustable. Very adjustable. So you can adjust it. You can make it looser. You can make it tighter. What I really like as well is that you can wear it higher up or lower down, depending on how you're feeling. What you don't want to do, though, is you don't want to do this. You don't want to go so low like that again you're cutting across the widest part of your belly. That's not going to be flattering. So many of you may be very nervous to wear a top like this. Okay, so a blouse like what I'm wearing now. This might be very nerve-wracking for you. However, this is actually designed longer so that if you're wearing it with pants, you can rouge it over and create that ruching, which will give you a bit of the coverage. But also, it allows you to wear it with a lovely skirt tucked in, okay? And to still feel comfortable wearing it tucked in. Well, why would that be? If you're wanting to disguise your menopausal belly, one of the things you probably think of is to not tuck in your tops. Well, actually, when you are wearing a printed skirt like this, you are then allowing the print to do its magic and to hide, I want to say hide, but not really, to disguise the menopausal belly. And then the top part of you is nice and fitted and you can just tuck it in. Also, what's quite fun is that this has got a slit, a neckline that can either be worn off one shoulder okay, or a cross boat neck, which is also really lovely. In both cases, what it's doing is it's creating an illusion that your shoulders are broader, and then therefore that is going to also make your waist look smaller. And then we have the flare of the skirt, and even though it goes back in because it's a bubble style, the flare at the bottom is still working for you, and it creates a sense and almost an illusion of an hourglass like that. Okay? And when we do that, we are de-emphasizing the belly. So this is what I want to really get across. When we are trying so hard to cover up the parts that we don't like, what that actually is doing is making them look bigger. However, when we focus on dressing our body for balance and creating somewhat of an illusion of a hourglass shape, we are looking at our body as a whole, and we're dressing for balance instead of trying to cover up, which is far more effective. And this is one of the things that Italian women really do understand. For them, shape is everything. Regardless of their age, regardless of their body shape, they are not into perfection, ladies. They are not into perfection. They are into dressing for shape and allowing their shape to show and enhancing their natural shape. And this is the third thing that I want to share, what Italian women do, is that Italian women dress as an expression of who they are. They don't need, it's not about necessarily trying to impress other people. It's more about just an extension of who they are. So they are more bold with their color choices. They are more bold with wearing print. They are a little bit more bold even with their wearing of shape. It still is very flattering, and it's somewhat, I would say, somewhat modest in a way. Like, it isn't about showing it all or flashing it all. It's also not about being perfect. This is what I love. Italian women seem to have a different approach to aging. They don't seem to have the same kind of mindset around aging as we do in the US. It's not about, they kind of embrace it. In fact, I was doing a little bit of research and around Italian women in menopause, and it doesn't look like there are a lot of studies, and probably just because it doesn't seem to be such a big deal for them. But women in midlife, Italian women in midlife, something like over 70%, in one of the studies I found, over 70% of Italian women don't see menopause as being a bad thing. They have a positive approach to it. And I somewhat wonder, if I'd had more of a positive approach to it, if it would have been somewhat easier for me to navigate. I'm not sure. For me, it's hard. I'll be honest with you and say it's even hard for me to think of perimenopause when it first hit me as being like a positive thing, because it wasn't positive for a long time. It now is. I'm now feeling like I'm living my best life. Now that I'm more stabilized in my hormones, I'm starting to feel the benefits of getting older and embracing that and having fun with that. But I didn't for a long time. So it's not a judgment. This is in no way a judgment, but I am very interested in that. I also know that Italian women don't eat a lot of processed foods. They don't, like, just the Italian way is not to eat a lot of processed food. So that makes me also wonder to myself, does that then impact on their negative experience, like, symptoms? I don't eat a lot of processed food though, at all. Like, I'm plant-based, whole food, and I had a huge amount, like, it was crazy for me. So I don't think there's necessarily a one-size-fits-all, but I am interested in exploring this thing of why is it Italian women don't have the same kind of hang-ups about aging, and how can we maybe look at it? Maybe it's really about just noticing that it's a natural part of life and that you're in this phase, and maybe it's even accepting the sort of kind of the symptoms and embracing what is and finding new ways of being. I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll keep you informed as I go to Italy and see what I can find out. But it's really interesting to me. Okay, so now I think when it comes to styling, Italian women also sometimes will choose to have what I call one hero piece in their outfit. They won't always wear head to toe in a print. They'll sometimes say, okay, the print is going to be the skirt. That's going to be the wow factor. Then I'm going to keep it a little more simple with my top on the top. Some women will then say, no, I'm wearing it all together and it looks like a dress. It's like wearing a printed dress. So I think it just depends on how you want to do it. Their style isn't necessarily OTT, but it always has a part of self-expression, which is really fun. Okay, so that is on the Italian style aspect of it. I would love it if you put any questions that you have in the chat. Please feel free to do so. Now I want to show you some of the new some of the styles that I have. Some of which I did last year that are still very relevant, and luckily I have still some fabric left over from last year that I want to show you that I designed, and it really is coming from this point of how are we going to embrace our bodies, how are we going to adjust to our changing bodies, and how are we still going to have self-expression, and of course how are we going to disguise our menopausal belly. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this one, which is in a beautiful olive green. Okay, and I'm going to post, let me just tag it. This is what I call the Wear 3 Ways duster. So, but first I'm going to put the a dress on underneath because I want to show it to you. Let me know, girls, as I get changed, if there are any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Hold a second. Let me just do a quick changing of my clothes. I have got underpinnings on underneath, so it's okay. I just am a little bit aware we've had some interesting visitors today. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to take a summer dress, and then I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of a fall makeover. And this is one of the things I'm going to be talking about a lot, girls, as well, because we are now in the last, hold a second, sorry, I'm aware I'm just not even, I'm talking, but I'm not putting my microphone on. We are in the last month of summer. And then also last few weeks, technically, of summer. Technically, September, as we know, is a little crazy, still hot, but it can change very quickly. So I am going to be talking a little bit about how to transition your wardrobe from high summer into fall. And what are the pieces that you want to start thinking about getting? Like, what are those pieces that are going to help you transition? And then what are those pieces that are also going to help you to take your wardrobe? You want things that are going to work for now a little bit, and then the things that are going to work into the fall. So this is, welcome to the Wear 3 Ways duster. Okay, this is made out of a breathable fabric, so you can wear it all year round if you want to. And it is basically I've taken it from the concept of the magic blouse. All right, so the magic blouse that I was wearing earlier in that brown fabric, this one over here that I showed you the different ways that you can wear it. Just a second, let me show it to you again. So this one here that I was showing you the different ways that you can wear it. Well, this is basically an elongated version of that, but on steroids, because it does so many different things. Again, you're going to notice that you're going to be able to define the waist no matter what we do with it. And again, it's going to disguise the menopausal belly, because I understand we do feel self-conscious. It's no point in saying, oh, don't feel self-conscious and just let it all hang out, because that's just maybe isn't where you're at. And that's also okay. So this has got a nice ruching that happens in the front here, and then this can be just tied down. I have lined it with exactly the same fabric so that it allows for like not to have the white sticking out. You do need to kind of adjust it a little bit, but this is how I've made it. Now, this is a slightly shorter version. I have got a longer version as well that is available in both fabrics. I'll show you the other fabric in a second. But basically what this is nice for is that, let's say you have a summer dress, okay, like this one here, and then you want to put something on over it. Well, you can pop this on over and you can just leave it hanging if you want to. But in my mind, that doesn't really give you as much of the waist definition as we're looking for. You can also tie it to the back and let this then be your over piece, which can go over at nighttime. You know, sometimes when you have a slightly chilly evening or a slightly chilly day, but it's not quite cold enough for a jacket as per se, or maybe you want to wear something a little softer, that's a possibility. The other way of doing it is to pop it in here. I'll show you in a second. Pop it in there. Again, there's that little sneaky peek. There's that little sneaky peek slit. And look at this, girls. We can wear it as a wrap dress. So this is, and again, I think one of the things about Italian women is that they don't believe more is more. They believe less is more. They don't have huge closets. They buy quality over quantity. They'll have a few pieces that they really love and they'll wear those. And they take good care of them and they're good quality items. So one of the ways that I get around that, because I know we like our culture is more one of variety. So, sorry girls, I don't know what's happening here. Okay, so what I find is that women really want to be able to have versatile pieces that can do all different things. And then the nice thing is that on top of that, if you want to, you can go in and take it and put a nice belt on there if you wanted to further accentuate it. Okay, so there are a couple of different options and ways that you can wear this. And again, this is a great piece to take from the fall, from the summertime. This is a summer dress. Take it from the summertime into the fall. Also, even if you are wearing it loose like that, we have got some shaping in here. So again, it has some form of shape. I just feel like a little bit more of that definition would be better. You could even just pop it in there like that, do it like that, and then adjust it and then actually wear it with a belt like that. That could also be another way that you can wear it. Maybe the taking it to the back doesn't quite make it as comfortable as you would like. You can do it this way as well and wear it with a nice belt. So that gives you various different options. And again, we've got shape. Shape is everything. Shape is going to make the big difference for you. You can wear it at the back like this. I'm going to just show you real quick. You could just tie it. So you tie it at the back. This is very easy to do even while you have it on. Tie it at the back. Allow it to float behind you. It does have an asymmetrical hem, which is really cool because it elongates and makes you look taller and slimmer. You could even wear it with a pair of trousers underneath, or pants underneath, and a top. Absolutely fine from the summertime into the fall, or you can do this. And this is one of my personal, I love this. I love it like this. I think it's so much fun and it just gives it a really cool look. All right, the other one I'm going to show you is in a different print, but it's a longer version. And personally, I did try both lengths, and I find that the longer is just better. I really, really love the longer, but I'm going to change completely. I'm going to put on, I'm actually going to do the denim skirt, which is one of the latest, it's one of the latest pieces from my collection. Here we go. Let me just do this. Sorry guys, I've just noticed this morning we have a little bit of a we've had some strange audience members. So I'm just taking a little bit more precaution than I would normally do so. It's what happens, right? It's what happens as the YouTube algorithm picks up on things, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pin this in a second as well. This is the little denim skirt. I love this denim skirt. And by the way, the denim arrived, and it's even better than the one that I have my skirt out of. It's just a stunning fabric. It's got such a luxurious feel to it. It's not your typical denim. Not at all. It's not too hard. It's not too soft. It's just divine. All right. So I'm going to take this now. This would be, say, a summer outfit, right? So something, and here, one of the things that I'm learning as well, which was so much fun, is that just because it is summertime doesn't mean you can't wear the darker colors that you really like to wear. I'm really embracing like those burgundies, the deeper reds, the olive greens, the teals and that kind of thing, even in the browns, even in summertime. And I'm finding, yes, I can wear them in summertime. I just wear them in different styles, right? And as long as the fabrics are breathable, it works. And so you can start doing that if you want to. Fall doesn't have to be the only time that you wear fall colors if you really love fall colors. All right, so this is the other one. This is the longer version. And again, this is a good example of how you could just throw something over. All right, you can just throw it on over what you're already wearing. Again, I would prefer to go towards the back like this. Here we go. We go towards the back, and now we've got a completely different look. So here you've got the sleeve coverage if you need a little bit of that, you need a little bit of that warmth, and then you've got it running at the back, which is this beautiful print that is really gorgeous. Or again, you can take it with this little tie, like the little slit in the side over there. Okay, obviously then you have to just adjust that tie there because you don't want that sticking on over your belly. And again, we've got it into a dress format. Now, just bearing in mind, I have a very stiff denim skirt on underneath. You can actually see it. It's almost working as if it's it's working as if it's those, what's the word? I'm thinking of the period dramas where they've got those skirts that go out like that, or those pieces underneath. So obviously it's doing that to it, but you can see it's going to give you a lovely flow. It's going to give you a lovely dress option, or you can wear it as a duster. So it gives you all those different options. Now, the other final thing that I want to talk about, and I did allude to it a little bit in the live earlier, is Italian women's approach to showing skin. Now, as I said, I'm going to Italy in September. It is probably still going to be hot. When I was there in Rome at the end of, towards the end of September into October, it was still very warm. It's not as warm as it is right now, but it definitely is still in the high digits. So this is one of my personal favorite dresses. I wore this then, and I'm taking it with me now. Hold on, I'm just gonna do a really quick little change again. And this is going to also just emphasize, it's something that I felt really comfortable in, and I felt like a local, actually. Hold the second. And it was so cool because it's made out of breathable fabric, and it has a print. Here we go. All right. So the one thing that I have found as well about Italian women is that they tend to show if they're going to show skin, they show one part of their body at a time. Okay? They are not about showing everything all at once. And that's one of the things I really like. I actually think there's something to that. I do think that as we get a little older, there's a tension of like, am I still sexy? Can I actually turn a head? I mean, some women notice that they feel invisible. They never get looked at anymore. They never get complimented anymore. You know, those kind of things that used to happen when you were younger, where a guy will you'll catch somebody's eye. And a lot of times that's a little bit of a shock for women because they just don't feel it anymore. I am wondering if some of that is also how we feel about ourselves. That's what I'm wondering. I'm not saying it is, and I'd love to hear your comments on that or your thoughts on that. But one of the things that I have loved, that I love about Italian women, is that they tend to show one part of their body at one time. So as an example, like this is a really easy way to show some skin, to show a little bit of his shoulder, right? Obviously not with the strap on underneath because I've just got it on for the underpinnings. But like show a little bit of shoulder, feel a little bit confident. Like, command the presence. Like, take up your space in the room. Just because we're older doesn't mean we have to become insignificant and now no longer suitable. Haven't you noticed, ladies, that lately I am seeing more and more movies and shows with mature women as sexual beings? I think for so long, this whole thing of like even saying women of a certain age, I hate that terminology. It makes me want to throw up. It really does. But even that in itself is saying we can't, it's so shameful we can't even say the word or the number because it's so shameful. I disagree. And I think as we get older, one of the benefits, let's talk about benefits of getting older. One of the benefits of getting older is we don't care as much. We don't care as much. It's like, let's just be ourselves. Let's allow ourselves to be ourselves. And so in that space, girls, I think we need to take up space. I think we need to allow ourselves, give ourselves permission to be sexy, to be sensual, to be all of those things. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to show every part of our body. So as an example, one of the things I've noticed, even with the younger people in Italy, is that if you're showing a bit of, like, let's say you're showing a bit of the arm here, then, like, you know, you're kind of keeping your upper arms covered, but you're showing a bit of leg. So if you're showing a bit of leg, then you're not wearing a super deep V neckline and showing tons of cleavage. Now, this is in no way a judgment. It's just an observation that I noticed, is that women tend to show one part of their body at a time. An easy way to do that is to show a bit of shoulder. If you don't want to show cleavage, show a little bit of shoulder. If you don't want to show a little bit of leg, then show a bit of shoulder. If you want to show a little bit of shoulder, keep it then more covered at the top. It's like, it's doing it in a way that doesn't look and feel like we're trying too hard, but I do think it is up to us to take up our space in our worlds and to not allow ourselves to become invisible. I would love to hear, and this is something I'm just thinking about. I'm not saying it as a preachy thing. I'm saying it even for myself. Like, I'm even aware as I get older, am I taking up my space? Am I commanding presence? How I'm feeling about myself is impacting on how people are perceiving me. I really do believe that. So this is one of the dresses that I have absolutely loved to wear. You can also belt it, which is really fun. Coming back to the clothes, I talk off topic a little bit, girls, because it also isn't all about the clothes. It's about how we're feeling. It's about how we're feeling about ourselves. And clothes are just the vehicle to help us feel better about our bodies. But we do have to be ready for that. We have to be ready to take that on. We have to be ready to step into that zone. I've worked with women where they've come for makeovers, they've spent money to come to me, and they say they want the change, but they're not really ready for it because it has to shift within themselves. I think we have to be ready to take up our space. I think we have to be ready to show up as our true selves. And the cool thing about getting older is that I think that actually makes it easier. I think it actually can make it easier because we care less about what other people think and care more about how we feel about ourselves. Okay, so let me know, girlfriends, what you think. Again, this is a really fun way it's still got a little bit of shape. It disguises, it just can look really fun and sexy and, you know, just fun. I think we should have fun with our wardrobes. All right, so let me know in the chat if you have any questions, and I would love to hear from you, girls. So while I'm putting things away, feel free to ask any questions. Otherwise, we'll just end off. But this is the place, girls, that you come to ask your questions and have them answered live. That's the beauty. This is one of the things I love about live, is that, you know, when I'm filming videos, it's just a one-way conversation. I do imagine that I'm speaking to you girls. I do imagine it. Like when I look into the camera, I'm imagining that I'm speaking to you girls. But when I'm live, this really does allow you to ask me questions. So ask me questions. Also, let me just say that if any of you do want to have further conversations, maybe sometimes, on a live isn't really how you feel comfortable doing so, there is a link inside of the description box where you can book a 15-minute free like a free call with me just to discuss how I can help you. And maybe you want to discuss some clothing that you want to buy, but you're not sure of what's going to really work for you. Maybe you're interested in having a consultation, a styling consultation, but you just want to get a feel of how I work and what's going to work best for you. Any of those things that you have, any questions you may have, you can book a 15-minute free, no pressure call with me. I am so there for you. I am so happy. Tony, hello, girlfriend. How does the wrap skirt go with the wrap shirts you made me? Okay, so I'm going to show you. I'll show you again. Tone, I'll show you again because I actually have that exact thing. Oh, the wrap. Okay. I see what you're saying. So, because you have the ones with the ties. Okay, thank you, Tony, for actually mentioning that because I made one of these. I actually, in that fabric. And in fact, Tony, I woke up this morning thinking about you with this fabric. How funny is that? I actually have a feeling that maybe this is a good fabric for you for the fall. All right, let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, I know it's not going to work. Let's try it with the denim and see if it works with the denim. Let me try it. Okay, I'm going to try it. The denim is much more stiff, so I have a feeling that it's going to be more, it needs to be more the softer fabric, but let's try either way. Let me see. Because that's one of the things I was thinking about for you with the skirts, like what tops you're going to wear with it. That was one of I was wondering about that when we were discussing fabrics. Okay, so let's try the denim and see if it works with the denim. It may not, but this is the cool thing, ladies. This is the cool thing about live is that you get to ask real questions. And we get to work it out together. All right, so this is what I call the magic wrap blouse. By the way, I'm going to be making a wrap shirt, a magic wrap shirt as well. I've got some fabrics that I'm going to be doing. I'll be working on those samples very soon. Okay, this actually does work very nicely. So Tony, what you will do is you will just wear it over the skirt like this. That's exactly what you do. Now your skirt, if you have a skirt in the similar fabric, in a softer, like in a linen, or for instance, if we do a skirt for you in a linen, it will be much softer, right? It will be more like this kind of skirt. Whoopsie daisy, I need to wash this actually. It will be more like this kind of skirt. Yeah, the strings are just going to be, okay, so this is, you just have to allow them to be. So that is one of the, hold on, let me do it with this. Yes, you keep both strings. You keep both strings. Hold on. Let me just do it. Okay, so let's just, I know that the fabrics don't go together, but I think it's more important of seeing the style than it is about the fabrications. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like more for you, made in a softer fabric. See, and also Tony, if you are wearing it, if you have it in the same fabric, then you're not gonna even notice. So you'll just tie it very loose, like you'll just knot it. You could also, hold on, you know what you can do as well? You can tie it to the back. So to get them out of the way. So that's what you could do as well, is just tie that to the back and then pop your blouse on over that. That's probably better actually. And then you're gonna tie that and let it go to the front. There we go, like this. Because this is how they're designed, girlfriend, so that you can wear them out. You don't have to just wear them. You don't have to just wear them tucked in. You can wear them out. If you were to wear it tucked in though, Tony, you would have a bigger, I think your ties are not as wide as these. So you could wrap that around and then pop your blouse, your skirt. Hold on, let me show you the other way. Hold on. So you could do this, right? You can tuck that in, but then you've got the ties, but your ties are not as thick. My ties are very thick on this one. It's actually a benefit not to have thick ties. You could do that. But then it might, so you could also do that. You could tie it to the back, and then pop your skirt over it and let the skirt strings go down. So you could do either of the two, depending on how it feels. And in fact, in a denim skirt, Tony, I would probably do more of that than I would, but it just depends on you. Whew, it's hot in here. Does that make sense? Okay. So we can chat about that further though. It's because they're softer fabrics, it makes a big difference. Because it's softer fabrics. Girls, this is the other option. I just want to say it's an option that I've been playing with a little bit more. For the fall collection, I'm going to be making more blouses and tops. So I'm going to be doing quite a few, and I'm going to be doing some solid colors as well, like solid color peplums. Solid color peplums. I'm also going to be doing the bamboo. Hold on, let me just get this. Let me pull this out. See, the ties on this one are really quite wide. I don't think I should actually do that. Hold on. Because I think it makes it more complicated. It's actually better the way I did yours, Tony, is that they have less of a tie. It's like much thinner. It's not as hard to deal with. Here we go. That looks much better. Okay, so a couple of the things that I'm going to be doing, and it's based on feedback that I've had from you girls, is that I'm going to be doing more like some nice solid color tops as well, so that you can wear that with your skirts and your like various different things. So this one here, this slightly off the shoulder, this little top here, this bamboo will have a longer, like a 3/4 sleeve option. So I'll be doing a 3/4 sleeve option, which I think is going to be really great. We're going to be doing some peplum tops in the cotton, because the cotton is still really good. It gives a nice firm. So we're going to be doing that as well. So we've got a couple of different things that are coming, and there'll be lots of mix and match and dress up and dress down that's going to happen. Okay, so are there any final? I'm sweating like crazy in here, guys, under all these lights, and it is a very hot day in New York. It's a very hot day. Are there any other questions? Let me know. Also, ladies, I've been doing a series on my YouTube channel on my perimenopausal journey and the things that have been helping me. There is something that I have been testing out that I think is really, really helping me. As far as my belly is concerned. Like I do think I've been trying it for a while now, but I want to try it for a little bit longer before I share, because I want to make sure that is the thing that's doing it, because I have been doing a couple of different things at the same time. So sometimes it's about assessing, but I have been doing a series. I'm doing one short video a week on my perimenopausal journey and what what has worked for me, because I'm starting to see a difference in my inches and in my, like around my belly, around my waist, in my whole body, in the inflammation in my body, all of that kind of stuff. So please feel free to follow that as well, to check that out. I normally do those on a Monday, so that gives you an idea. And then leading up to the trip to Italy, I'll be doing more on Italian style and showing you some more things. Let me know also, girls, in the comments what topics you would like to these lives to deal with right now. It's kind of a weird time of the year because for those of us who live probably for people who live in Florida, it's not that different. But like we're kind of coming to the end of summer. So what would you like to see in these lives that you think are going to help you set forth for a really good stylish fall? Feel free to put it in the chat. I'd love to hear your ideas. And if there's no other questions, then I will speak to you soon. 1971. Okay, that must be from the... Somebody must be watching it at a different time. That's great. I'm 1973, ladies. I'm 1973. Okay. So if you are watching in the replay and you still have questions, please put them in the chat. I do come and read all of the comments and do try to reply to all of them. Also, feel free to reach out to me. There is a link in the description box below that will give you an option to set up a free 15-minute call with me. We can chat about things, how I can help you. I'd love to help you girls if at all possible. Have a wonderful... You like my hair color? Okay. Shall I quickly share my hair secret, ladies? Should I quickly share my hair secret? Okay, hold on. I'm going to go and get it. Hold on. Okay, so I did a video on Friday and I did a community post the other day about my hair because I have never colored my hair up until recently, ever. Like I've always had this has been my natural hair, and I have a lot of different colors in my hair. There's a lot of different colors in my hair. So I was always a little nervous to go to a hair salon because they're probably going to want to bleach it and then take all the, and it just, A, it's going to take me a lot of time, and B, and then there's the hair growth and the regrowth and all that kind of thing. And then B, there's also the thing of it costs a fortune. Like it really costs a fortune to have my hair naturally done. But if you look at some of my previous videos, one of the big reasons why I've been wearing my hair curly for so long is because my gray has been really showing. Like especially around my face here, it's been like, wow. And it's white. It's like white gray. And then these pieces over here as well, we're really showing white. So I decided I was going to do some research and find out what I could do. And I found this. So this, girlfriends, is a hair color mask. Let me see if I can quickly tag it here. Hold on, let me see. Can I look? Okay, yes, I can. So let me just add this. Okay, here we go. I'm going to add it to the card, and then I'm going to pin it there. All right. So don't be put off by the color that's on the picture because they have they have a whole bunch of different colors. So this is it doesn't have harmful chemicals in it. It is very easy to use. It doesn't have any smell. It's incredible. So I used the strawberry blonde one because my hair is strawberry blonde, and I did just do it again this morning. And what it's done is it's made my gray look more blonde. And I actually left it on for longer this morning, and I also allowed it to stay on for longer, and it's just making my hair color pop. I can't believe it. And it's taken these, because these were all completely gray, it's made them more blonde. Can you see that? It's just like the easiest thing. So all you do, okay, is on your dry hair. Look at this. This was completely white. So now it looks blonde like my hair used to be. So what you do is on dry, clean hair, and it has no smell. This is what mine looks like, okay, because it's strawberry blonde. You just take it and piece it piece by piece. So you obviously clip your hair up and go piece by piece. And just apply it. You do need to use gloves. I actually just used the kitchen gloves that I like because I had some unused ones. And I just coat each part of your hair. So you go through. And then what I did is I took my hair up because this is where you could see most of my gray is all up here. Like it's not so much on the ends. And then I put my hair up. Hold on, let me just see if I can find, I'll just use a pen. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I'll just use a pen. So I clipped my hair up, and then I just put all, like especially around here. And the thing is, it lasts a couple of washes. So it's just, and if you don't love it, it will wash out. So it's a really interesting, and it makes my hair feel really soft. So then you just leave it on for like 15 minutes to 30 minutes. I left mine on for about 25 this morning, and this is my second application. And then you just rinse your hair and blow dry it like normal. So you don't wash it straight away. So you do need to start, that's the only thing is like I only wash my hair like once a week. So, and I normally style it and then, just blow dry. So I just blow dried my hair, and this is what I can't believe it. And it doesn't damage your hair. It leaves it feeling amazing. So I'll put that I've pinned it. They've got different colors. They've also got a conditioner that looks like that's quite interesting. The one in my color is actually sold out, so it's out of stock. So I'll wait for that. That could be quite interesting. I may try that as well as an alternative to the mask and see if I find any difference. But I would encourage you. I'm feeling amazing with this is how my hair used to look. This is how my hair used to look. And now it's just like, I'm so excited. Okay, so girls, and there's no, it didn't cost, it was like, it's like $30 or something. I mean, like, how amazing is that? All right, so let me know, girls. If you do decide to try, go and check out the website. They've got a whole bunch of different, it will link directly to the website. Go and check it out. Let me know how it goes. I've seen women on YouTube who have been saying they're using it as they transition their gray, and then also in between their colors. So maybe maybe you do need to have your hair colored. That's completely up to you. But you want to use it in between while you're, in between your color appointments or whatever the case is. But I definitely think it's worth a shot. It's definitely worth a try. I think it's like they're saying it's the future of color. I think so too. Anyway, okay, ladies, are there any other questions? Otherwise, we'll end off. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been amazing. If you are in the replay or you've got questions now and you're a little bit behind, put it in the chat. I will, with pleasure, answer any of your questions. I'd love to hear what you would like to hear going forward for the fall. For the next few weeks. I would really appreciate it if you can give me some topic ideas that you would like to see. And I will see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.